We are living in a tumultuous period, chaotic, and we really need to feel Hashem's love for each and every one of us. And if you follow the parsha this week, you will find that with each Makkot, with each dose of punishment that Hashem administers to the Egyptians, our rabbis tell us that there is a simultaneous dose of love and healing that is given to the Jewish people. Naguf l'Mitzrayim, it was a plague for the Mitzrim, for the Egyptians. V'rafu l'Yisrael, it was a healing process for the Jewish people. There's a great story that's told about the Baba Sali. Baba Sali, Rabbi Spero Abu Chatzeru, was one of the great Sephardic leaders of the last generation, a very, very holy individual. During World War II, he was the Chacham in the city Budniv in Morocco. And at that time, the Germans occupied the city, and for whatever reason it is, they had not yet sent the Jews into any camps of any sorts. Instead, they would take the governors of the region, and they viewed them as enemies, and they would send them to a prison where they tortured them and shamed them and disgraced them and beat them. And then they would haul them off to a kangaroo court where they would sentence them to death, and then they would hang them publicly. Well, there was one individual, his name was El Gilavi, and he was the governor of the region in Budniv. And as they're schlepping him out, he's bruised and bloodied and beaten, they drag him down the Jewish street where Baba Sali was standing outside. And he says, Chacham, do you have a son? Baba Sali indeed had one son. His name was Meir. He said, yes, I do. He was hesitant to answer because who knew? Perhaps they would think that he was working in cahoots with the Moroccan governor. But he decided he would answer him. He told him he has a son. He says, bless your son. So the Baba Sali, of course, mumbled the blessing for his son. And he says to him, is that the way you bless your child? Bless him with love. And Baba Sali closed his eyes and he concentrated. And as he's about to bless his child, he says, and include me in the blessing as well. Well, Baba Sali did that. And he blessed the governor that he should be well. A short while later, he was dragged away. He went to the court, but miraculously he was set free. He came running back to Baba Sali and he told him, when this madness, when this chaos is over, come to me to the palace, I'll give you anything you want. After the war, Baba Sali went to his palace and they spoke and he said, let me ask you something. Why did you ask me to give a blessing for my son? I understand the blessing for you, but why the blessing for my son? And he said the blessing only works when it's done out of love. And what greater love is there than the love that a father has for his son? I told you to conjure the image of your child in your mind and then allow me to join that blessing. And he said, what blessing would you like? What reward would you like in return? And he said, I ask you that whenever the Jewish people are in peril, whenever people try to attack them, defend them, protect them, and make sure they're safe. And that's what he did for the rest of his life. There is a beautiful Gemara that says that Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur went in lifnai v'lifnim into the Kodesh Kodashim, and Hashem said, Yishmael b'ni barcheni. And the question is, why did he say, Yishmael b'ni, Yishmael my son bless me, Yishmael bless me? And I was thinking perhaps this is what he was saying. Yishmael b'ni, think of my son, think of your child. And then after you think of my son, then Hashem says, bless me. Hashem wants to have the most loving relationship with us. He's waiting for us. He's going to protect us. And he wants us to love him in return. When we do, we will know that we're in the safest place we can possibly be.